Abduction, Chapter 29, Part 1. Valerie led me down a corridor to the main floor of the sporting club. Despite the snow, more people started to gather inside the sporting club. It was never what I had in mind during a snowstorm, but I guess for the youth, this was better than going home or to a bar at midday. It was good to see. Most people using the equipment were in their mid-20s. The young women were either Instagram models or wannabe models. I spotted two girls who had their cell phones out and taking pictures of themselves. I think they were a little vain, but it reminded me of Ilya Popov. His reason for working at the sporting club was to stalk these beautiful and impressionable young women. I need to find that young man before something happens to him. The new girl at the kiosk smiled and looked toward Valerie, her new boss. Her face, slim and graceful, was framed by her dark hair, giving her a pleasant look with sparkling blue eyes to go with a fit body. She was lovely, but it didn't feel right. I had gotten used to seeing Natasha, and seeing someone new in her place didn't seem right. The person at the desk saying hello to incoming people should be Natasha. "Thanks for being a friend, Valerie," I muttered. "I'll find Natasha. I don't know how, but I'll find her. Should you hear anything from her, let me know." Valerie took my outstretched hand and shook. "Despite what Maxim says, I do have some free time. So if you find something and need help, call me. I'll be there to help." I released Valerie's hand and started for the door, but stopped. "Valerie," I said as I turned to face my friend, "how did Ilya get the job here at the sporting club?" "Masha Ivanovna got him the job," replied Valerie. "She was able to convince Maxim to hire Ilya." "But I thought they didn't like each other," I stated. "Maxim did not hold it against Ilya that Ivanovna suggested he work here. That was until Ilya did little for work and spent more time flirting," said Valerie. "That's what Natasha was telling me," I said. "Other than Ilya is a young man and interested in girls, do you think he was doing so because he had another agenda?" Valerie paused as his brows met in the middle of his forehead. "Why? Do you think he was scouting the girls for a bad purpose?" I wanted to scream from the top of my lungs, this is what I thought, but I wasn't 100% sure. I was starting to piece things together. Unfortunately, the evidence I had in my head was circumstantial. I had a feeling that if I found Ilya, I would find Natasha. "I'm just going with my intuition and what I know about Ilya," I replied. "Good luck, my friend. I hope you find Natasha," said Valerie with a pat on my shoulder. I departed through the twin glass doors and out into the snow. The rate at which the white snuff was falling from the sky had slowed. There was, however, enough on the sidewalk to cover the tops of your shoes. I searched for the rental car and found it 100 paces up the street from the sporting club. I kept alert to my surroundings as I made a beeline to the rental car. With the sun fading over the horizon and the buildings blocking what daylight was left in the day, what I was seeing was muddled. All the faces in the crowd looked the same. Nothing other than the rental car Tatiana was driving stood out to me. I felt a set of eyes on me the moment I broke in Echo's direction. There was someone out there among the people heading to their destinations that were watching my every step. I stopped, and in a slow turn I looked around. I saw buildings and a throng of busy people. There was nothing to see. I could only feel the eyes watching everything I did. The feeling was unnerving, and I had not felt anything like it before. My steps quickened to the car, and I quickly entered into the back seat. "Let's go," I said. "What's the rush? Did something happen?" asked Echo as she turned in the front seat to look at me. I felt the car lurch into traffic. I held onto the front seats to keep myself from being tossed into the back seat. "There was someone out there watching me," I said. As Tatiana drove away from the sporting club, I looked out the window, hoping to see something unusual. People trudged through the fresh snow. Their daily drudgery was over, and their only thought was to get home. Everyone blended into their dark winter coats and snow boots. Nothing was out of place.